Good morning, y'all. Thank you for joining me for some real talk from the heart this morning. Some daily devotions through the scriptures, some scripture meditation, and we're currently just finishing the year in the Proverbs. And so this morning's real talk from the heart is from Proverbs 23, verses 17 and 18. Proverbs 23, verses 17 and 18. Let's get into our real talk this morning. It says, do not let your heart envy sinners, but be zealous for the fear of Yahweh all the day. For surely there is a hereafter, and your hope will not be cut off. Man, just meditating on this passage this morning and thinking about that first line, do not let your heart envy sinners. Do not let your heart envy sinners. You know, in a world where those who live in open rebellion to God, man, those who live without a shred of fear of God, they're glorified, they're glamorized by the culture. Man, it's important for you and me to really guard our heart against envying these type of people, or wishing we could have what they have. Be in their shoes, have the adoration of the fans, and the world's eyes are on them, and we got to really guard our hearts, man. We got to really guard our hearts. It's important that we guard our hearts, that we don't envy these people. Why? Well, this passage tells us very clearly why. It says, but be zealous for the fear of the Lord all the day. And here's the why: because surely there is a hereafter. That's the reason why. But first and foremost is that we're God's people. Man, we're God's people. And as God's people, we are to live with an intense devotion. That's what that word zealous means. It means intense devotion. Because we are God's people, because we belong to Him, we are to live with an intense devotion. And we're to respect the Lord. And we're to have that intense devotion in the area of reverence and awe and deep respect for God. When you consider the cross, and when you consider what the Lord has done for us, man, He deserves that. He deserves that intense devotion to respect. To envy sinners is to have respect for what God hates. Now, we are to respect them on a human level, right? As a person who Jesus Christ died for, we are to respect them for sure. But we are not to have respect for sin. We are not to have respect for that which is an affront to the holiness of God and is rebellion to God. We're not to respect that. Listen, he says here, for surely there is a hereafter. That's the next reason why. Here's the next reason why it's so important not to envy sinners or to envy those who live in open rebellion to God without fear. Is because, man, there is a hereafter, man. There is a hereafter. And those that have chosen to live in open rebellion to God, man, those that have chosen to live without any fear of the Lord, all the glitz and all the glam, the millions of fans, they aren't going to take that with them when they die. As a matter of fact, the Bible is very clear that those that reject the Lord, open rebellion, no fear of the Lord, they're going to a place of torments. That's very clear. Torments is where they're headed. Luke 16, verses 19 through 31 makes that very clear. So for you and me, right, surely, listen, there is a hereafter, and your hope and our hope as people of God, our hope is an eternal hope, man. It is a blessed hope that never, ever will be cut off. And so when you think about the trade, right, you think about what people are trading. They're trading the temporal glory of man, again, the glitz, the glam, man, the adoration of people. They're trading that for the eternal blessed hope that God has for His people, which never ends. Never ends. I was thinking about Psalm 16:11, right? Psalm 16:11. In your presence is the fullness of joy, and at your right hand are pleasures forevermore. Psalm 16:11. In your presence is the fullness of joy, and at your right hand are pleasures forevermore. Man, I would not trade that for this temporal world, right? This fickle world, man, we have a hope that goes on, man. And so what I want to encourage you with today, man, is let you and I, man, let us live with an intense devotion to the fear of Yahweh all day long, man. Let's fear the Lord all day long. Let us live with that. Don't take breaks from it. Don't take breaks from the fear of the Lord. And let's not let our fear of God be situational, right? Where if we're around a certain people, then, you know, we'll live with the fear of God. You know, it's easy to do. You get around church folk. There are people you go to church with, or they know that you go to church, and so you're gonna kind of temper it, right? You're gonna say, oh well, you know, I gotta act a certain way because I'm around these people. Let's not let our fear of the Lord be situational, and let's not let it be emotional either, right? Whether or not we feel like it or not, He is worthy, man. He is worthy of our respect, man, our utmost respect, deep devotion, man, deep respect and reverence. He deserves that we live in awe of Him. Too many people have respect for sin. Too many people have respect for sinners, and they're living in awe of sinners when they should be living in awe of God. And listen, you can't do both. You can't do both. You got to make up your mind. Which is it? You're going to live like a child of God, or you're going to live like a child of the world and be overawed by the things, man, that hold their attention. Man, the Lord deserves our attention. Hey, listen, the Lord loves you. I love you too. Praying for you. Please be praying for me as well. Man, I hope you guys have a great Saturday, and I hope to talk to you guys again soon. Thank you for tapping in for some real talk from the heart today. God bless y'all.